The commander is a support tower that buffs the fire rate of nearby towers. Thing is, that only applies to tower battles. In TDX, he functions a little bit differently from before. Being one of the event towers unlocked via the Tower Battles Battle Pass, how can we make full use of his support capabilities? The commander gives both range and damage buffs to all towers around itself. However, it can't fire its gun yet for some reason. Essentially, do not use the commander in the early game or else you are stupid. It can also buff up towers without needing line of sight.
Thanks, mister.
So you don't need to worry about annoying obstacles. Oh, and it also only has one single upgrade path just like in tower battles. While the upgrades generally increase its range as well as the buffs themselves, levels 3, 4, and 5 gives the commander unique active abilities. At level 3, the commander gains the Cold Arms ability, boosting all tower damage by a heavy amount. Oh, and the commander can now actually shoot for a bit. At level 4, the commander can now spawn in strikers, which will run across enemies.
I like trains.
And at level 5, it is granted the airstrike ability, which can be fired globally to deal tons of damage.
Man, shut
With all that said, how are you supposed to use a tower with 3 active abilities at the same time? The commander performs the best when it has a bunch of DPS towers that it can buff up. And with the Cold Arms ability, it can turn any late game DPS tower into insane killing machines. The Cold Arms ability is best used in situations where waves start to become dangerous. However, once you get 2 max level commanders and a level 3 commander, you can essentially keep the damage buff going for a very long time. This is called chaining. Once you use the Cold Arms ability on one commander, wait until the damage buff expires. Best way to know if it expired is to look at his gun. If he stops shooting and puts his gun away, then that is the signal to start another commander's Cold Arms ability. Of course, you need 3 commanders to get this effect, or 2 if you have max bottom path EDJ as well. Having more than 3 commanders is usually unnecessary. The strikers can be used in dealing with mid-game leaks. But in the late game, you should just send them out whenever they go off cooldown. Airstrikes can deal a great amount of damage. As such, you should use it in extremely crowded heavy waves, like in late game Expert. There is a small delay between the ability usage and when it actually lands. So make sure to fire it a bit further ahead of the enemies you want to destroy. Now go out there and completely destroy your enemies with this faceless tower.